Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sapniewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. Please know that this is not financial advice. I'm only here to entertain you, but I will say this: try to only buy on those red candles. I know I didn't have the dramatic zoom in that I usually do. That's because this is live. I'm not editing it. But the reason that I wanted to come on live was to discuss everything that's going on with Shibtoro right now. So, as you know, a few days ago, I did make a video to review the token, the tokenomics, what their roadmap was, what the white papers are, what they're planning on doing with this project. And I liked it. I invested in the project. I became friendly with a few of the different people on the project, and we took it from there. And I was probably in the project for all of 48 hours before there was an abrupt 360, like a complete big, huge turnaround. And sometimes I get it in cryptocurrency or in any business. Sometimes you have to adapt. You have to kind of go with the wind sometimes. I understand that. But these were massive changes, like really big, huge changes. And I get it. The dev did what he felt like he needed to do, but they were really big changes. So number one, when I came into the project, they said that, okay, we have a 15% tax, which guys, it is a little high. It's a little high. I'll admit it. Shinja is like I think a 12 or a 13% tax. I think it's 13. And shi Dang. Shibtoro said that they were structuring their tokenomics right after Shinja. Same thing as Shibnobi. They started with the 69 sextillion tokens, and they had these massive amount of burns and, massive amount of reflections, which is really great. This way, someone could buy a small number of tokens, whatever they could afford, but it would look like they were getting a lot because of the reflections, and every day that would be added on to. And it would make a huge difference for someone that just couldn't afford a lot. That 3% and reflections could be like a big, huge difference to someone. So that's where we kicked off. That's where we started. That's where I was a little excited. And Sam Davis is in the house. Sam, hello, welcome. Right now, I'm just talking about, what happened with Shibtoro because you guys have to admit it's a big change. It's a big turnaround. And so I went into the project completely understanding that this was going to be the taxation for these particular reasons. And I like the fact that they were giving out of the 15% tax, 5% of that was going to charity. And they did make really good a couple of days ago. They sent $25,000 to the people of Ukraine, which was wonderful. Like I felt like they, kept up with their end of the bargain, which was wonderful. Then I have a bad sense of time. Apparently, a lot unfolded yesterday, but I think it was the night before, actually. I was speaking with the developer, and something happened where they released a tweet. Now, remember, this community I was very excited about. I did a review on the video. I had the developers on for an AMA. I did a couple of lives with um, somebody from the community, and we had other members of the community come in so that we could talk about it, how excited we were about it. Like, I was really excited about Shibtoro. I made it no secret that I was very excited about it and looking very forward to the future with this project. And they released a tweet. DT says, giving me some Saitama vibes. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Hold on, I just clipped and I want to make sure I don't do that. Let me put my microphone down. So one of the things that I really liked about the community was we had made a deal with each other that everyone was going to be positive, stay positive, especially in light, like, on Twitter. Like, no negative attacks about anyone, no personal attacks about anyone, like, we were going to be the next Shiba Inu. We were going to be on Twitter a lot and spread the word about Shibtoro because it's a great project. The whole backbone to the project was, we're nothing for now. All we're doing for now is building a huge community. We're building the Shibtorian Guard, a big, huge army. This way, when we do release some utility like NFTs or whatever, that community is there to bring value to those NFTs. Because if you only have a couple thousand people and you release NFTs, well, out of the couple of thousand people, who's actually really going to buy them? Probably not that many. You know what I'm saying? So I really thank you. Someone just gave me a super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Oka Uno. Is that how you say your name? Is that PR after it? I can't see. I don't have my glasses on, so I do apologize. Someone's saying Shibtoro all the way. Shibtoro going to the moon. Let's hope. I'm keeping my bag. I'm keeping my bag, not dumping my bags because I do feel like we do have some good potential, but I'm just, bringing to the maybe somebody just recently sort of invested in, you know, Sherry saying she caught my live. Hello, Sherry. Welcome aboard. Okay, so with the understanding that all of that was there, I knew we were going to have to wait a while before there was any little bit of utility going on, and that was fine with me. I'm willing to wait. We're going to stay positive, and we're just going to be the Shibtorian army until our utility comes along, and nobody's going to bring us down because we're Shibtoro. We're the Shibtorian Guard. We're strong. So, and then on Twitter, um, there was a tweet that was released that said, "Are you sick and tired?" I don't remember it exactly because it has since been deleted, which I think was the right thing to do. "Are you sick of your developers not keeping their word?" And then they put right after that, they put Saitama. So, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Ooh." Initially, I actually liked it and retweeted it because I was just retweeting a lot of different tweets that I saw from Shibtoro that day. I was trying to make it, I think we were doing a little bit of a Twitter raid. Everybody was on there, rah rah sis boom bah, and I wanted to participate in that. So anytime I saw a tweet from someone in the community or a comment, I was liking it and retweeting it. I didn't even really look at it. So then I went back to look at some of the things that I had retweeted. I think someone might have actually brought my attention to it. They're like, "Did you see what they said about Saitama?" I was like, "Oh, who? Where?" They're like, "Yeah, you retweeted it." I was like, "Oh, okay. No, I didn't actually notice that. So let me go and take a look at it." Is my volume okay, by the way? Because I turned it down a little bit so that I didn't clip the microphone. I just want to make sure that I'm coming through audibly enough. So I went back and I read it, and sure enough, it did say that. Are you tired of your devs not holding up their something to that effect of your devs not meeting deadlines or not doing what they say, whatever it was, and then they put Saitama after it. So, of course, all the people in the wolf pack pounced on that. Faltron retweeted it. I think he took a screenshot of it. He retweeted it. PR Torres jumped on there. All the wolf pack started to then they started to hit Shibtoro. Boom. The wolf pack, they're on it. If you do something they don't like and you go on their hit list, they're not just going to grab you for one day and let you go. Like you're a permanent mark in their book. If you attack Saitama, you're a natural enemy of theirs and they're going to get you. So, a Husky of Wall Street is here. What's up, Husky? Husky is a friend of mine, you guys, a fellow crypto investor. Husky, how many more people do you have to go until you can finally live stream, my friend? I think this morning you said 20. He needs like 20 more subscribers, then he could finally live stream on his channel. So I knew it was going to be an issue with the wolf pack. And I actually said to you guys remember Chardee was coming on the channel. I said to Chardee, I was like, "Ooh, Chardee. I don't think that that was a good idea because I think it's going first of all, we're supposed to be positive. We're supposed to be the positive people and keep the community, their spirits uplifted and just energetic and happy and positive. She's like, "Oh, yeah, I do agree. I think it was a little," so a little bit later, they wound up retracting the tweet. They deleted it. But people had already taken screenshots of it. So, of course, it went around the Saitama wolf pack and everybody who's anybody, because the way that the wolf pack is, they thank you, Audelicious. I do appreciate it. Anybody that attacks them, they'll go after. So, being that that tweet was put out there, they definitely started to go after Shibtoro. There was hard fighting going on with Shibtoro. Hey, you know, that's how Saitama is. Saitama will go after any project that they think could possibly one day catch up to them or be as successful as them. Anything that they suspect is going to be a successful project, they go after. Like they scrutinize the smart contracts. They look at every little thing about that project. Yet they can't turn that scrutinous eye on their own project. They wanna look at everybody else's project, but they never want to point the finger back at themselves to say everything that happened or went wrong, but that's just the wolf pack way, and they have big numbers in the wolf pack. They do, and when they come after you, like, they're after you. They're gonna get you. So, they had deleted the tweet, but it was already too late. A lot of screenshots were taken, and then they were targeted, definitely a huge target on the Shibtoro back. The wolf pack was going after their taxation, was going after the fact the white paper is just basically saying, "Hey, we're not gonna be anything, um, you know, this is what happens. This is going to be a rug one day. Just everything that you can possibly imagine that the wolf pack will do to try to fund a project. That's the number one thing they're going to say. This is inevitably going to be a rug one day because the only token that's going to be left alive after the nuclear storm is going to be Saitama. We're the only one that's going to make it. You have to invest in us because we're just as legit as Bitcoin. It's us and Bitcoin, and those are the only 2 projects you should and Ethereum. Those are the only things that you should invest in because we're that big and bad. Of course, we all know that's ridiculous and crazy because it's not even a coin, it's a token, Saitama. But anybody that they feel is, catching up to them, they're gonna get you. So, one day, happened. The Saitama was fudding on them consistently throughout the day. And now remember that the dev said, "It doesn't matter what people say. We have this roadmap. We know who we are and what we're going to be, and we're going to stick to that. So please remember that." Eh, during one of the AMAs on Twitter, just a few days before, a guy asked, "Well, this is all fine and good to say that you're a charity, but in the end, people want to see utility." And Chad basically stopped him. He's like, "Nah, no. This is who we are. We've laid it out who we are. If you don't like it, basically take your bag and leave," is basically what Chad said to this dude. And I was happy that he said it because I'm like, okay, I feel like, he's going to lead the way. We're going to be steadfast in who we are and we're going to stick to our roadmap. We're just going to be a charity until we get our numbers in force, which I think is important. I think it's good. And so after that day happened of some fudding from Saitama, everything changed. Everything. Now, mind you, the whole tokenomics behind Shibtoro was the fact that he was modeling the tokenomics after Shibnobi. Shibnobi has a 13% tax as well. Ours was just a little bit higher, but that's okay. We had the same amount of tokens. They were doing burns and good Juanito. Thank you. How are you? Uh, just like that. So the next day, after this sustained attack by the wolf pack, everything changes. Next thing I know, I go into the Telegram group and I see Chad saying that, "Okay, we've got to make these changes." I caught the tail end of the conversation. And I'm like, I wonder, like, what's going on? Like, this is so strange. I don't know what's happening. So then Chad calls me and he starts telling me all this stuff that they're gonna reduce the taxes and they gotta do what they have to do for the project. And he's like giving me these figures and I'm like trying to write them down. And I was like, ooh, okay. Like it just was a complete 360. Like it was you couldn't get much different from Chad on that day to Chad to the other day. Like it was a complete change. And I said to him, I was like, "Oh, Chad, you know, how does the community feel about that?" And he's like, "They're fine with it. They're great because the reflections, which is a huge thing for the token, I felt. I felt like it was a really big thing that we had that 3% reflections. Shibnobi gives the 3% reflections, and it makes a massive, massive difference. It really does. And so it went from 3% all the way down to 1%. That's a big difference. It really is. The charity wallet, gone. It was 3% for well, hold on, let me just pull up their website because I don't wanna give any false information, but while I'm doing that, I'll just go ahead and share the chart right now. Let me just pull up their website. I wanna make sure I get it right when I read out what the taxations are. Can you guys I almost said, "Can you guys see that?" Like I could hear you back, you know? Crazy. Okay, here we go. So, the taxes total are 10%. Oh, my buddy's asking me to join his live. He doesn't realize I'm live. 3% for marketing, 3% for development, 1% reflections. Remember, that was 3, 2% going to liquidity, and 1% to the burn mechanism. Okay, so it went from 15 to 10. That's a big difference. That's a big, huge difference. Don't forget, interspersed with that 15%, 5% was going specifically to a charity wallet. We were a charity. That's what we were supposed to be. At the very beginning, until we grew our numbers, that's all we were supposed to be. Then we were getting 3% reflections. It was just this completely different dynamic. But once that attack from the wolf pack happened, everything changed. I felt like they nitpicked at certain things, and maybe Chad felt like he had to adapt to kind of stave off the FUD. He also said that, it had to do with being on different exchanges as well. Exchanges don't like these taxes, but we are, Ex we know what happens with all of that. That's people have been dealing with exchanges for a while. So I felt that personally was a cop out when it came to, that thing. I just didn't like the fact that it all changed so very quickly on one tweet. And now I'm gonna spill tea because this really upset me. The guy that when I initially said that I wasn't going to make the video about Shibtoro, and then another guy DM'd me on Twitter to ask me to please take a second look. I started to communicate with him on Twitter. We had a little bit of a rapport. We're both Shibtorians, and I've communicated with a few different people on Twitter and in the Telegram group as well. And so the night that happened, I said, Chad, you know what? I kind of don't I don't know how people are gonna feel about this massive, huge change. And he's like, "People love it. The group is 100% behind it. They love it." And I said to him, "Chad," I sent him in a message, I have receipts. I said, "You understand that when people are in a group and the leader is telling them that this is how it has to be, normally people will say, 'Yes, I agree.' Like, they go along with the group. That's just the way that it is." And I said to him, "I'd like to ask people kind of on the side because I think they'll be a little more honest with me as far as how they're really feeling about it." So I did. I reached out to a couple of different people, and apparently somebody sent him a screenshot of me asking what I thought about the reflections being so drastically reduced. And, the one that sent the screenshot, though, I should say, initially, when I sent it to him, I put it was 0 reflections because remember, I was writing down what he was saying, and initially, he was thinking it wasn't going to be any reflections, but he said, "You know what? I can't hammer it out. I'm just all in my mind right now, and I don't have anything definitive." Because you remember the night that I came on here, I was live with Chardee, and I was trying to read what I had written, and I was kind of, like, all over the place. I'm like, "Listen, I just was writing everything down really fast of what Chad was talking about, and somebody's like, "You don't have any information for us, you're just speculating and you don't." And I was like, "Listen, I wrote it down. I'm not speculating. There is gonna be a change." And so apparently, somebody had sent a screenshot of me saying that. So today, I was kicked out of the Telegram group. I don't know how that happened. Obviously, they kicked me out. And, Chad sends me a message through Telegram saying, "Well, let me read it to you. Let me read it to you because I wanna get it right." And I don't want you to mistake what I'm saying. I'm holding Shibtoro. I'm not gonna sell my bag or anything, but I'm just going to let you know what, what transpired because I think it's only fair. I'd wanna know. I mean, here I made this video that I might as well take down because now it's 100% inaccurate. Nothing that I said in that video is true anymore. I feel like I shouldn't even leave it up. So he says to me today, this morning, he sent it at 9:30 in the morning, but I didn't see it until way later. It was like, I think well, I'll tell you when I responded. I saw it like 3:30. I responded at 3:35 as soon as I saw it. So it was sitting in there for a long time before I even realized it was in there. Um, he says, "I don't appreciate you messaging community members with FUD. I woke up this morning to them sending me screenshots," and he sends screenshots, the screenshots. I don't wanna say who it is because I don't wanna upset them, but, it says, "And we have reflections of 1%, but since this message you're spreading to the community we're trying to build, please move on. We don't need this negativity." What? What? And then I said to him, Chad," I said, "No, I straight up told you I wanted to ask people how they felt about it in confidence, because when you ask somebody in a group, they're just gonna agree with the leader. If you scroll up a bit higher, you'll be able to see that message right up on there." So let me scroll up to the message that I was talking about. March 1st. "Hey, Chad, I'm trying to get a feeling about how people actually feel about it. Of course, they're going to say that to you. I think 0 reflections kind of sucks. People bought in with certain expectations, and I didn't think it's a great idea to go from 3 to 0. So then he says it's not 0, it's 1%. But before he responded to that, I'd already sent a message to one of the dudes on Twitter saying, "How do you feel about the reflections going from 3 to 0?" And, so that's where that was. So then I get back to him, and then I basically took a copy of what I'd sent him earlier. I'm like, "See? I told you that I was going to ask people about how they actually felt." It's not like I went around to a bunch of people and I was like, "Hey," pulling them aside, "Hey, what the F is going on? This is terrible, uh, I was completely transparent and honest with him that I was gonna do that to see what people actually thought about it. And you know what? A lot of people weren't happy, but they didn't say anything. And I'm not gonna say who it was, or I'm not gonna say who the people were because the community might attack them. So I don't wanna do that. But, so anyway, one of the people that this happened to, I sent them a message and I'm like, "Dude, like, I can't believe that you took a screenshot of what I thought was a private conversation." Not that I cared because I had already told Chad that I was going to do it, but I was like, "That was kind of a D move." Like, like, why would you do that? I was like, "Yeah, Chad, like, basically accused me of fighting." He's like, "Oh, what? I'm so sorry." And so, what do you do with something like that when you're having a private conversation with somebody that you're just trying to get how they truly feel about it? Because, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it. I don't like that we had said, "Okay, we're just gonna be community building. We're gonna build a positive community." Then they attack Saitama. All we wanna do is be a community token that's, given to charity. Charity wallet's gone. He did say he still wants to give a minimum of $10,000 a month to a charity, but 5% charity wallet probably would have been a lot bigger than $10,000, but I'm just saying, and we weren't going to care what anybody else thought until we had enough forces that whatever utility they started to bring forth could actually be something or do something. Like you said, if we released NFTs and we only have a couple thousand holders, who's going to buy them? Yeah, a couple hundred of us, maybe a little more might buy the NFTs, but nobody from the regular community is going to buy the Shibtoro NFT. It looks really cool. Okay. The bull looks really cool. But another thing is it doesn't match. It's not, we're the wolf and that thing is a bull. Like there's no matchy consistency. You always want to be consistent whenever you're marketing. Definitely for sure. So I think it's a bad idea to, and everything is just, it just seems like it's rushed now. I think he did have things that were, they were planning to do it, but now I feel like it's rushed. How are you guys feeling about this? Let me put my glasses back on. Trail, let me hit this comment. Barely 2-week-old project. The devs probably just nervous because they launched prematurely, maybe because of fear of the government regulations. Nah, it's got nothing to do with it. Okay? Nothing to do with it. It's because of, I believe, the attack on Saitama. They turned around and attacked us, and then everything changed. And so, along with changing up the taxations and everything, what they decided to do was do a massive burn. Because one of the things the Wolfpack pointed out was that ginormous wallet that was sitting up there that was not the wallet that you mainly do the marketing with and everything, the deployer wallet. Wasn't that wallet, it was just one kind of hanging out there. People were mistaking that wallet for what it was. So they decided to take that and burn it. They burned it. And do you know what that did for the price? Is it burned right now? I don't know. I've had a really busy day, so I didn't even have the opportunity to really look. Let's see what Liddy Market says. Saitama disrespected us with name calling and huge negative energy. So yes, we did make the post, but attack? Yeah, we shouldn't have engaged. That's the thing. I don't think that we shouldn't have brought up Saitama. We should have stayed the course with our community building and reaching out to whoever was interested in investing with us. I think that was great. Like, I don't even know how many different tweets I put out that day about Shibtoro and retweeting your guys' tweets and liking them. And I felt like we did a really great job. Like, Shibtoro had completely saturated Twitter that day. You couldn't go 5 tweets without seeing something about Shibtoro. It was unbelievable. Like, Twitter was all abuzz about Shibtoro, and I wanted that to stay on. You know how many tweets I saw today about Shibtoro? 2? I mean, we went from complete saturation of Twitter to maybe 2 tweet I'm not that's being generous. I don't even really know if I saw 2 tweets. Like that, and we said to each other, I don't know if Chardee is in here. Chardee says, "It was more to the attack behind the scenes." She's telling me to calm down. I am very calm. This is not excited. Um, but what happened with Saitama? I don't really know because you know why? Saitama attacks every project. It's who they are. They really do. I mean, you see how they go after Shibnobi and Shinja, well, Shibnobi is Shinja. Any other project that they feel is going to be any kind of competition to them, they're after them. Like, they knock down, drag out, fight, but Cliff wasn't like, "Oh gosh, gotta change everything. They're after me." No, I feel like it was really not the right thing to do. As you can see, I think probably a lot of investors agreed with me, unfortunately. I mean, it for the big news, because don't get me wrong, guys, the burning of that many, what why am I hearing hold on a second, I don't know why that just happened. Um, for the big news of that humongous burn, that should be our chart should be way, way a lot higher. I mean, that was Chardee was at 30% of the supply? I think it was, 30% of the supply had burned, and for that, like, I think, you know, I think I'm right. I think the majority of people and listen, I know a lot of you are saying in the Telegram group, I know you are, you're saying that you're okay with it. Privately, some of you are telling me you don't like it either. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, it's not Chardee. Chardee's in the stream. She was not one of them because I don't want you to get, I know you guys know that Chardee and I have been talking outside of the groups and everything. And I don't want you to think it was her. Okay. I think it's fair to say that. But there are others who were not happy the way I was not happy. And I figured, I wanted just see. But you know what's done is done now at this point. Can't do anything. The dev has made up his mind, but as you can see, people have sold out here. I felt like we kicked everything off so nice. Like I had such, I feel like my parade got rained on almost like because now it's a different feeling for me. It's not that. And I'm sure that you guys that are still in the Telegram group, you're still, very excited about it and pumped and I am too a little bit, but um I just don't have that feeling that I had initially because I felt their original roadmap of listen, we're nothing for now, and you just have to deal with it. The only thing that we want to do is build this wonderful, inclusive community that's going to be positive and dynamic and uplifting. And we are going to be the next Shiba Inu. Everybody move aside because it's going to be us and we're going to stay positive. And we even said to each other, we're going to keep it positive. Remember that, Chardee? I was like, we have to hold each other accountable. We got to keep each other positive, and if somebody starts being negative with attacks, we have to call them out. And if the dev does something that I feel like I don't like, I'm going to call them out because that's who I am. And I said that on one of the live streams. I'm sure you guys will remember if you tuned in. I don't know if you had tuned in or not, but that's just how I am. So I feel like I don't know if people invested from the video. Like I don't know what's going on, but there have been people messaging me asking me how I feel. So I felt it only fair that I just come on and tell everybody what I'm doing. What my long-term plan is for Shibtoro is to stay in it. Like I'm not selling my bag or anything, but those people that sent the screenshots dead to me. You're dead to me. Dead to me. Don't ever text me again. You're dead to me. Because that's how we roll in Jersey. Okay? Seriously. Dude. Dirty screenshotting. Come on, dude. Man. Dead to me. You're dead to me. So yes, I'm gonna hold my Shibtoro. we'll see where it goes, you know? I just wish that, um I just wish it was different, and I wish that it wasn't such a just a trigger kind of response to attacks from the wolf pack because once again, they attack everybody. And I think if we had just left it alone, if we had not done that initial attack where we put Saitama in the tweet, I think it wouldn't have come to that, you know? Listen, it wouldn't have come to that because after that tweet, I know the wolf pack. I see all of their tweets. I know who they're picking on day to day to day because I've been in the mix myself. Whenever I point out a truth about a particular token, especially Saitama, I keep it real. I don't FUD a project, but I keep it real. Like 100%, I keep it real. And they've gone after me. But as soon as they did that, as soon as they released that tweet you know, with the name Saitama in it, I knew it was gonna be a problem, and I knew this was gonna happen, but I didn't know that they would react like that. Like, a day before, if any of you were in that Twitter on AMA, the day before, sounded like an older gentleman said to Chad, "Hey, you need to bring utility to the," and Chad's like, "Oh, no." He basically stopped him in his tracks. It was like, "That's not who we are. This is our roadmap, and if you don't like it, hit the bricks and go. Sorry, this is who we are." So we went from that Chad to, "Tammy, you were not plugged in." I'm plugged in. I'm plugged in. Listen, please listen to me. I know there's a plan and everything, but I know what you guys are saying. I know it, okay? I know what you're saying. I know it, but I don't think we should have went the negative route. There could have been another way to do it. There had to have been another way to do it. We could have done it together organically through positivity because you know what's on Twitter today? Nothing. There's nothing about Shibtoro today. Compared to when it was all of us on there doing a raid, there's nothing. And my friend, look at the chart. What do you think about that? For that amount of burn, that chart should be way up. We should not be down. What is it down? 16%? 15.34%. It was actually up to 18 before that we were down. You know what I'm saying? Xavier Tan says, like I said earlier, I won't support projects whose communities attack others. Investors will also take note of the vibes within the community to invest as well. Do what you do, and I do what I do. And I respect that. I get that, you know, totally. Chardee, I'm calm. I'm calm, girl. Calm. But it is true. You're saying, Tammy, that's not true. What point of what I just said is not true? Chardee, you want me to send you a link? You want to come on? That burn doesn't raise the price. No, no, no. The burn doesn't raise the price, but having people know that that amount of tokens is being burned usually would cause a frenzy. People would be going over there to it would be a blitz to go purchase it. Okay, hold on. Chardee says she's gonna come on. So I have to open StreamYards. Hold on a second, guys. I have to open StreamYards in another link to grab the link for Chardee. Chardee's my girl. Chardee said I'm her homegirl. So hold on a second. Let me grab. Invite a guest. Okay. Copy. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a second. I'm just looking for her. Here she is. Okay, I sent the link. It's in your inbox on Twitter. Let me go back to StreamYards. Okay, so Chardee should be Isaac saying to the moon. I hope so, because I still have a ginormous bag in it. I get that word. Xavier is saying, don't worry, Tammy. If a project is good, it will acknowledge through it will be acknowledged through time. End of the day, actions speak louder than words. Oh, here's Chardee. Hold on a second.
Hey Tammy, I'm on.
Hey, Chardee, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really concerned about you, Tammy.
No, I'm fine. I'm
Okay.
I'm just laying out how I'm, feeling about the news,
Hmm.
and because I feel like Sade, it's a huge turnaround from where we first went off. I mean, seriously, if I pull up Twitter right now, there's not there's nothing about Shibtoro on Twitter
So
right
that's
now.
the part that I was saying that was not true, right? Today we did multiple raids. So when you said two different, only two hashtag Shapturos, that's not true. Me alone, I've done over at least 40 today. But I just came on because you are entitled to your opinion, Tammy, right? I'm not I'm not mad at all that you're on here saying your opinion. This is your channel. So that's your experience. You have the right to say that, right? I just don't want it to be whereas it's one sided because I strongly believe this is a miscommunication. I strongly believe that way. Chad obviously is feeling a certain way because he took it as FUD, right? And you're looking at it as a certain way because you're thinking, hey, I'm just concerned trying to reach out to people individually to get a real reaction versus
Right,
the
and I
group
told
reaction.
him that I would be doing that. It's not like I just did it. I
Hmm.
sent him a thing on Telegram saying, "Hey, I would like to reach out to people because as you know, when people are in a group with their leader, they're gonna tell their leader whatever they wanna hear. That's
Yeah.
just the way groupthink works. But if you pull people aside when they're alone, they'll be more honest with you."
No, and I totally agree with that. So I get exactly what you're saying, right? But at the same time, I get both sides. I get Chad's side because you have to look at it. He's a 15-day-old project, right? And someone who just recently supported him very well, two times in 1 week. And for the turnaround to be that way, just look at it from his point of view, just like he should look at it from your point of view. So that's why I feel as though this is something that should have been talked about offline. At first, both tempers are rising, right? Y'all both are mad, Tammy. So in the heat of the moment, no one is hearing no one.
No,
And I
but
know you agree
Sade,
with that.
you're 100% wrong because when
Mm-hmm.
I was angry, Sade, I
Mm-hmm.
was angry, and I even said to you, "I'm angry," and you said, "Do you wanna go live?" I said, "No, Sade, because I don't wanna say something in the heat of the moment that I might regret, because cooler heads prevail." Didn't I
Yeah.
say that?
No, you did. You did.
I'm
But
not
also,
I'm not angry right now. I'm not spreading FUD. I'm not saying that this is a bad project. I'm giving my perspective on the project, and to be
right.
honest with you, my subscriber I know you guys are maybe new to my community. My
Mm-hmm.
subscribers rely on me to be 100% honest with them about what I'm doing with my investments,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I make a video about something. Like
Yeah.
I said earlier, I don't know if you were on earlier, but I feel like erasing the video because everything that's on there now is obsolete. None
And
of
that's
that is
fine.
true. You know what
That's
I'm
fine
saying?
because it's that's truly okay, right? Because again, it's your channel. And like you said, you do have people that's, relying on what you have to say. And what if they just saw that one video and didn't see this one? So that's fine, right? My only thing is this is why this space becomes so toxic because no one even know what happened behind the scenes, right? What if you could have just deleted your videos or even had a video to say, hey guys, I'm not going to support it with future videos, but I'm still holding my bag, right? I feel like it just was a better way. And I feel like this was too soon. Even though you're calm, you know yourself, right? I'm new to you, Tammy. So even though you're saying you're calm, you even ignored me, Tammy. Today I sent you a message and I've only been nothing but sweet, I thought, right?
Wait a
But
minute, you sent me a message?
yes, I sent you a
Where?
message at 9 a.m. I'm going to screenshot it to you on Twitter. I
Hold
was
on a
like,
second.
hey, Tammy, how's your day? Just thought of you. Wanted to see if you was okay. And I didn't get nothing back.
Chardee, hold on a second. Chardee, you know I like you, but
And I was
you
confused.
don't, Chardee, you don't understand how many DMs I get every single day, and
It
you,
was weird, you
especially,
know.
I had an AMA with the developer from Terrarium. Yes,
Mhm.
and I must have gotten 200 DMs from people wanting to speak to me to communicate to this guy. Like,
Mhm.
I can't even explain, like, I can't even tell you how many people. I must have just missed it because I would have responded to you.
Right, but you see how that's easily something for me. I understand that, right? You telling me that, totally
Yeah,
believe you. I can only take your word, right? But you
yeah,
see how that one situation could have been like, oh, Tammy's now mad at me because she's mad at this person. I could have took that a whole different way. So that's what I'm saying about Chad. You all are new to each other. You don't know each other, but I don't feel, and I again on both ends. I'm mad at you, Chad, right? But on both ends, I don't feel like this was the right decision at this moment to talk about this publicly.
oh, no, it's always a public it should always be a public thing, especially if I have made a video and I believe that you're gonna start your own YouTube channel, Sade. You'll
Mhm.
learn about what needs to be public and what needs to be private. There are things that need to be private. This was not one of them.
No, 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 no.
Absolutely
I don't think you heard me
not.
right. So, no, no, no. I don't think you heard me right. You have every right to take it public because you started with it public. I'm saying just at this moment. I feel at this moment it should have been more to the private conversation between you and Chad or whoever it was that was involved before this live happened. So I totally agree. Whatever you were going to do, go live because you owe it to your viewers. You owe it to yourself. That's your true feelings, right? But just
Right?
like you said last night, it's not the time to go live last night.
Oh,
And I don't
no.
know, from the
Wasn't.
outside looking in,
Mhm.
I'll be honest, right now wasn't the time to go live, just from my view, right? You can have your view. I'm quite sure in your view, you feel this was the moment because you went live, right? But I just
Yeah.
want to, this is your live. I don't want to stay on, but I just wanted to say that I truly appreciate the exposure you gave, good or bad, right? Because some people, of course, is going to take this bad, not taking it as though it's just your personal investment that you're
Right.
sharing your
Hey,
updated opinion.
and I said that I'm holding my bag. It's not
Right.
like I came on and I was like, "Screw Shibtoro, I'm dumping, I'm out." That's not what I'm saying, and I'm
Yeah.
sure everybody heard that. So if I had done that, it would be a different situation, but I loudly and clearly had said, "I'm staying in the army, I'm holding my bag. I just wish we didn't have to have a complete turnaround like that within
Hmm.
24 hours." I feel like, and there's other people that feel that same way.
Hmm.
And when you
And I'm
feel
quite
when
sure.
you feel the same way about it, I mean, then you commiserate with each other and you're like, damn, man, in one day, all of that changed. Just
Right.
one day. I feel like it was, you talk about something that might be too soon. I think he made a decision based on reactions that were going on Twitter with everything. And I think, maybe he made a bad call. Like, I don't think, I think the reflections, minimum of two. Minimum of 2.
So, okay, so about the reflections, right? That's another thing. So, I encourage everybody to stay plugged into the community's Telegram because just because you see what's on the website doesn't mean what's actively happening. This is a very fluid environment. Let me say that. And this is a very new project. And I strongly believe Chad really listens to the community. So, when he originally said that's what he was going to do, guess what? He came back and said, hey, we're going to be doing different times, different days where the reflections will be 5% instead of this, right? So when you say the things you said today, for a person that's only getting their information from you, right? And now you're out the telegram, that's all they know, Tammy. That's all they know. So that part is not fair, is what I'm saying.
I don't know when you tuned in, but yeah, they are doing certain days where they're doing like a flash
Mm.
5%, whatever. It's Chardee. It's very different than taking the tokenomics of a particular token, shaving it from 15% down to 10%, and then stripping away the reflections from 3 to 1. I think it's a big difference, and there's other people that feel the same way.
I'm
So,
quite sure.
that's just, just the way it is, and
Yeah.
it's just a fact. I'm not dumping my bag, I've said that before, but
Mhm.
if you look at the chart, if you see how, because that was really big news that Chad felt one of the big things that he needed to do to deter the FUD was to get rid of that wallet because it looked like it was just a huge whale wallet that was sitting up there, and that person that was a whale could easily manipulate the price, whether they decided to empty out their wallet that day, they could easily manipulate the price if they started selling their position in huge chunks. That's always a concern with whales. But you know what? Every project is run by whales. You and I, our bag is never going to amount to anything compared to what the whales have in every single project.
Mhm.
Like we know we have what everyone calls him the friendly whale. That if he decided to sell out one day, the price would go down drastically. So it's, what it was I getting? Okay. So he felt like he had to get rid of that big, huge wallet. The
Mhm.
burning of that amount of tokens, which is, I believe it's 30% of the supply, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
30% of the supply gone like that. I think the price should have pumped today with that kind of news, with that catalyst. That should have sent the price up. What do you
I'm
think?
listening to you. No, I'm listening to you. I mean, it should have sent the price up. At the same time, you also have panic sellers, right? Like you said, you experienced what was going on Twitter, same way that other people experienced that was what was going on Twitter, right? So you go through phases in your project where you have people that's going to panic sell, and no matter what you're doing that day to offset that day it won't happen, right? But only thing I want to express is if you believe in the project, okay, you're going to ride with the project. All right, just ride with the project. But if you're not, just move on happily, right? And I I'm thinking that's what you're doing, right? I'm thinking you're just expressing yourself, and this is probably going to be your last Shibtoro video. Is that
Uh,
correct to say?
oh no.
Oh, okay. You see, but
Who said that?
well, that's what I'm saying. So just those assumptions that I just got, think about what people are thinking. Like you can't see the chat, right? That's why I immediately
I'm
wanted to.
looking at the chat.
Like this is a mixed chat. This is a very mixed chat, but it's overwhelmingly on the other side of a lot of people are mad at you, Tammy.
That's okay, and that's
You know?
fine. And that, you know what? That's ridiculous to be mad at me for having an opinion about how I feel. See, and Sade,
Hmm.
that's why people feel like they can't speak freely in the Telegram group because they
Hmm.
feel that like if they say or do something that's not approved, I didn't kick myself out of the Telegram group. They kicked me out. I
Hmm.
went there today and I'm like, "Where's the group?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, somebody removed me from the Telegram group." I don't know who has the power and authority to do that. I'm assuming it's Chad because after I saw that, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I got a message from Chad. What's going on?" And then I saw that and I was like, hold on a second. Somebody else is messaging me on Twitter. Hold on a second. I want to look
Hmm.
at it. It's one of the investors. So how you doing today, Sade? What's going
I'm
on?
good. I'm good. Today is good. Today is a
Did you do anything, like
typical
go out to
crypto
eat or
day.
anything?
I did go out to eat today. I did. Just got lunch, came back home. Just was really in the community a lot today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. Okay. Um, it was nothing. Um, yeah. So no, this is not my last Shibtoro video. No.
Okay.
I'm in the army, but I'm just saying that and like I said, maybe you guys are new to my community, but I always am 100%
Hmm.
authentic with everybody. If somebody asks me about something, I'm going to be legit and honest with them. Like, this is how I feel. and I see hold on a second, because I see somebody's not happy in the chats. I think it's this Liddy Markets person. "You were disrespectful with your opinion." Come on, who's Liddy Markets? Seriously? How
Liddy, calm down. Just calm
how
down.
am I disrespectful? Disrespectful with my opinion? No, that's not disrespectful. That's just me saying, I think that I wish it went a different way. I wish it didn't have to be a decision like that, that had to be completely turned around where we were all together, together down this roadmap that was laid out. That's the roadmap that I invested into. So I
Mhm.
think we were all, I mean, we couldn't have all been happier. That the day that we went live after the AMA, man, we were so pumped. We were so pumped. And even just I know people are upset with me, but it's just a different, getting kicked out of the Telegram group. I mean, that's dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
that was messed up. But whatever. I'm not gonna sell my position, but let me just pull up Etherscan. Did the total burn happen already?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But Tammy, let me hop off. I know Sandstorm is having something in support of the projects. I want to make sure to support it. But listen, I'm here if you want to talk about it. Still got love for you.
Still got love for you, Chardee. Thanks for coming
Mhm.
on. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right, since she's out, and that's correct. Sandstorm probably, I think he is live with your dev. So why don't you guys book over there? I'm going to end the broadcast because actually Sandstorm's a really good friend of mine, so I'm going to watch that too. Thank you so very much for joining me, and until next time, remember, try to only buy on those red candles, and please take care of yourself.